Hey, how are you? This is Al, Modern Day Warrior Channel. Happy New Year. Today is January 2nd, 2021. I'm coming out with you with the my first edition of a series I'm going to call Bottoms Up, album ranking from least favorite to favorite. Uh, I'm naming this Bottoms Up album ranking after one of my favorite bands, Van Halen, after their song Bottoms Up. So this is going to be a new section on my channel where I rank albums and stuff. So it's going to be Bottoms Up album ranking. Uh, Van Halen, you can't, at the end, I'll have a nice shot of Jack Daniels because you can't think of Van Halen without thinking about Jack Daniels, right? So let's start with Bottoms Up. Let's go Van Halen. So the first one, and before I get into it, um, I like both eras of the band. I'm not a Hagar hater or anything, or I consider both eras two different, completely different bands. Um, I don't hate one era over the other, whatever. I like them both. I just, like I said, I consider them two different bands. So um, I'm gonna preface it by saying Roth era is clearly my favorite era, as you're gonna see in the album rankings. Um, so let's start up. First one's actually not going to be Roth or Hagar era. It's going to be the Sharon era, Van Halen 3. That's the bottom of the barrel for me. Um, Again, there's some cool experiments that Eddie did on here, but as a whole, it's doesn't really stack up to any of the rest of them. Um, but still, I don't hate it. There's a few things I like on here, but Van Halen 3 is bottom for me. Next one's going to be Oh You Wait One 2. Um, I saw the Monsters of Rock tour in '88. It was a good show. But to me, this is kind of a week in the Van Halen canon. Very diverse album though, but again, I got to rank them, and this is sort of at the bottom of the list for me. Next one's probably going to shock a few people, but again, it was a great album. I thought when it came out, but it hasn't aged all that well with me. It would be 5150. Very 80s production on here. The Simmons drums didn't really do them any favors, but um, again, there's a lot of good songs on here, but I just think the production kind of kills it now. Like listening back, and I don't reach this much anymore if I'm going to reach for a Hagar era disc. So 5150. Next one's going to be For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, the Fuck album. Um, Eddie came back, guitars roaring on this one. I thought it was much improved over their '80s stuff with Sammy. A lot of good riffers on here, a lot of rockers. You got Pound Cake, of course, Judgment Day, Run Around, In and Out, Man on a Mission. So there's a lot of good ones on here. For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. And my favorite out of the Hagar era is actually going to be Balance. So I like this album a lot. It's my favorite out of the Hagar era because there's a darkness to it. You could tell there was tension in the band. Um, to me, like when there's tension, sometimes it brings out the best musically. So Van Halen Balance is going to be top of the list for me for the Hagar era. Now we're getting into the cream of the crop. Diver Down. It's gonna be the next one for me. I always think of summertime when I listen to this album. When I was a kid, my brother had all the Roth era albums up to this one. I think this was the newest one at this point when I really discovered Van Halen in like '82. So I was like 10 years old. And I used to just take my brother's cassettes and listen to all of them and just fell in love with them. Eddie was one of the reasons I picked up a guitar. He's part of the holy trinity for me is Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, and Alex Lifeson. Those three made me want to pick up a guitar and play. So Diver Down next on the list. Next is going to be A Different Kind of Truth. Kick-ass album, man. They went back into the vaults and reworked some old songs, but nothing wrong with that, man. They were firing on all cylinders back in the day, and why not go back into that well? And It's a great album, man. I saw all the tours, the reunion tours when they reunited with Dave. Didn't miss any of them. Um, Again, great album. A very underrated album, in my opinion. Uh, Aside from Tattoo, which I think is the weakest song on here, I think it was a mistake for them to start lead off single with that one too. But other than that, man, I mean, so many good. She's the Woman, Blood and Fire, You and Your Blues, Honey Baby Sweetie Doll, Trouble Will Never. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, it's a solid return to form. 1984 is the next one. We're really getting into the cream of the crop now. Um, Man, I had a lot of great memories when I was a kid listening to this. And ironically, I was supposed to see them on this tour, but my brother never got tickets. It was sold out, and I'm kind of still pissed at him to this day. And would have been the first time I saw Van Halen. I was begging for him to get tickets for this, as I was way too young to drive. At the time, I was only 12 years old. So, but I missed out on this tour. I wish I would have seen it, man. Van Halen at their absolute commercial zenith. Next one's going to be Van Halen 2. Now it's getting real tough to rank these because all these are like just perfect albums. But Van Halen 2, I love this album so much. You're No Good, great cover. Somebody Get Me a Doctor, come on. Bottoms Up, which is what this is named after. And Beautiful Girls, Women in Love. I mean, every song on here. DOA, you can't go wrong with any of these coming up. This is rough, man. It's getting rough now, but number 3, I got to go with Women and Children. Every note, not a wasted note on this album. It just, Eddie at his heaviest, some of the heaviest stuff on here, and experimental, and I mean, there's, like I said, not a wasted note on here. It's just unbelievable. I mean, they were just like ruling the world by this point. Down to the last 2, and this is the tough one. I mean, it's so tough. But I got to go Van Halen 1 as my number 2. And I don't even need to say anything about this album. It's just a game changer. Just everybody just rethought the guitar after this one. Eddie just rewrote the rule book and tossed away the old one. And that's my number 2. My number 1, Fair Warning. This is like, I mean, when I think of Eddie's like most ferocious guitar, is the brownest sound of his tone, the darkest VH album. This is the one. I mean, this is just perfect. Experimentation. He just kills it on here. I mean, the whole band. Everybody. I mean, you just can't. There's nothing even you can really say about it. But my number 1 is Fair Warning. And with that, we take the JD. Get a little shot here. A little shot of JD. Bottoms up. Everybody, here's to a new year, 2021. Have a great one. I'll see you soon.